Good morning. Today I'm here to read chapter 16 of A Dog's Promise. Burke started at Wenling's exclamation. I heard his chair squeak as he leaned forward. What is it? What's wrong? There's a mother dog with little puppies down here. You're kidding. I knew what would happen. Wenling would approach and Lacey would growl. But Wenling put her hand out and Lacey licked it. Of course Lacey licked it. Wenling was her person. You're a sweet mommy dog. Cooper, come! I did as says. This time Lacey did growl as we approached the bottom step. Wenling held up a hand. Don't come any closer, she's getting upset. She might have been abused by a man at some point. Burke tugged and stopped on the steps. Okay, wow, this is really cool. Wenling turned and looked at him. Sure, except this is a stray dog. Look at her. She's had a rough life. No collar, and now she's down here in a storm cellar because she didn't have anywhere to go. Sorry? Lacey was no longer growling, but she was staring stonily at Burke, who had braced against me to sit. I nuzzled him to show her he posed no danger, but her whole posture remained rigid. You know what, Wenling, what? These puppies look a lot like Cooper. Like Cooper, Wenling repeated. Yeah, but that's not possible, right? You had Cooper neutered. They kept saying my name, but I could not tell if I was a good dog or a bad dog. I wagged my tail hopefully. Burke, you had him neutered. No, in fact we didn't. We couldn't afford it at the time. We're not robo-farmers. Wenling shook her head. I'm going to ignore that, so we need to call animal rescue, have them come out, and we need to give her food and water in the meantime. Wenling returned to the house and brought out a bowl of food and a dish of water. Lacey wagged and ate hungrily while my puppies crawled around on their blanket, calling for their mother. I cautiously approached, and this time Lacey let me sniff them. I think being back with Wenling made her feel safer. I nuzzled them, drinking in their scents, eventually sprawling out so that I could be with them on the floor or under the barn. Of the underbarn. Did they understand that I was their father? They squirmed and squealed, and I wagged. Certain they must. Lacey watched, and the love I felt for her flowed through these dogs, my puppies. You're a good dog. Good mommy for your puppies, Wenling praised. I wondered if she knew this with Lacey. Humans can do amazing things, but they don't always understand what is going on with dogs. Over the next several days, everyone spent time at the top of the stairs watching the puppies. When Wenling was there, Lacey wouldn't let Grant come down the steps without growling at him, and when Wenling handed him a puppy, Lacey didn't object. Grant held the little puppy to his face and kissed its nose. This one is Cooper's face. Have you thought of any names for them yet? I thought the rescue organization should do that. Grant nodded. Don't name the chickens. Exactly. If I gave them their own identities, it might be a lot harder to say goodbye, even though it is best that they all go to forever homes. I did name their mother, though, Lulu. Right, Lulu? Wenling reached down and stroked Lacey's head. Are you going to keep one? No, my father says not. Hey, I could play with one, Burke called down. Wenling took a male puppy, placing it in his lap. What about when you adopted your first dog, the one the snake got? He let you have her, Grant said when she returned. Lacey, Wenling affirmed. Both Lacey and I whipped our heads up and stared at her. Wenling did know. Of course. Why would I think she wouldn't? Lacey and Wenling belonged together. Right, well, I think getting me a puppy was because when I was that age, I could do no wrong in his eyes. Now our relationship is complicated. He feels like saying no to a dog is reestablishing control or something. My mom fights with him about it. She stepped forward and lowered her voice. Dad's not happy I'm going out with Burke. He thinks I should date someone more. She waved her hand in front of her face. Chinese? Wenling glanced up at Burke, keeping her voice in a murmur. Exactly, Grant laughed. Here. As he looked around at the local populace, I'm terrified that a Chinese family will move to town and they'll have a son, and my dad will make me marry him, even if the guy's a psychopath. What are you guys talking about? I can't hear you, Burke complained. Wenling called up to him. I just figured out you're not Chinese. What? Burke responded in a voice that sounded aggravated. I looked up at him, concerned, but he wasn't acting upset. Come on, Grant. Why did you have to tell her? Everyone laughed. Wenling traded puppies with Grant. I know there are too many dogs on the planet already, but I can't help but love them, especially the ones who look like Cooper, she said. I wagged. You have such a big heart, Grant made his voice quiet. I don't think Burke knows how lucky he is to have you. Wenling blinked him. What do you mean? Lacey and I both reacted to the sudden rise in tension in the two humans. Grant stepped closer. I've been trying to figure out how to tell you, and I just have to say it. I can't hold it back anymore. Hold back what? You really don't know. You can't see it every time I look at you. I'm in love with you, Wenling. Wenling took a deep, shuddering breath. Lacey sat up, nuzzling her hand. It just happened, okay? Grant continued urgently. I know it's wrong. I know I shouldn't feel this way, but I have for a long time. And sometimes when you're looking at me, I think you feel the same way. And it's been so hard, hey. We're going to hang here. I'll have Cooper help me down, Burke offered. Wenling was staring at Grant. No, I have to go, she called up. She let her puppies down, and Lacey lowered her head to them. Wenling? He whispered plaintively. When he reached for her, she turned away and bounded up the stairs. Wenling! Burke said. I have to go, she replied. I climbed the stairs to be with Burke. I did not understand any of this. Many days later, Burke knelt and kissed me and said, I'm going to the doctor. You'll be okay, Cooper. I wagged because he said Cooper. Then he and Grandma drove away, and I watched them go, his son drifting away from me. I did not understand why he was leaving, but I didn't try to chase after him because I needed to stay near Lacey and our puppies. When I trotted over to check on them, Wenling was under the bar. She had recently taken to bringing meats for Lacey and me, a development I regarded most favorably. We played with the puppies for a while, while we climbed back out with the big van. When a big van pulled into its driveway, a man and a girl a little younger than Burke was getting out, and I was astounded. It was the first girl I ever met, Ava, and her dad's Sam Dad. Her lighter hair was shorter, and she was taller. But everything else about her was the same. I ecstatically ran to them, jumping up, whimpering. Were they going to live on the farm with Grant and Burke and Lacey and the puppies? I couldn't think of anything new that would make me happier. Hello, you, Ava greeted, kneeling so I could kiss her. I plowed into her, and she fell on her back, laughing. That's Cooper, Wenling advised, coming up behind me. Ava turned her head from side to side, sputtering, so that I could lick her entire face. Cooper? I was so excited I ran circles around them. They all laughed. I'm Sam Marks, and this is my daughter, Ava, Sam Dad said. I'm Wenling Zane. The puppies are in the storm shelter. I'll take you over. The mother doesn't warm up to strangers very easily. Ava reached down and pet me. Is Cooper the father? Oh, yes, there's no doubt about it once you see them. We were walking toward the underbar. I was excited for Lacey to see that Ava and Sam Dad were here. Thanks for coming all this way, Wenling said. Sam Dad shrugged. It's no bother. We're up here twice a week with the rescue mobile anyway. These rural areas have more of a problem with Grand Rapids. In fact, we're opening a branch office up there soon. He cleared his throat. So we will spay the mother, of course. Her name is Lulu. Good, we'll spay Lulu. And even though he's not a stray, we could also pay to fix Cooper if you like. Our mission isn't just to rescue animals. It's tried to make rescues unnecessary. In fact, we never adopt our animals anymore without commitments from the new families to spay and neuter them. We learned our lesson on that one. Wenling regarded him thoughtfully. Cooper's not my dog, he's my friend's dog, but I can speak to him. I'm sure he'll agree. They were saying my name a lot. I wondered if I should go get the squeaky toy. As I assumed, Lacey remembered Ava too. It was obvious from the way Lacey brightened, wagging when Ava knelt, offering a place to Lacey. These are the cutest puppies ever. Hello, Lulu. Good doggy. Sam Dog was smiling as he watched the puppies tackle Ava. Mom's got terriers for sure. Mom's got a terrier for sure. Also, maybe a shepherd? Wenling shrugged. Lulu just came out of nowhere. It's going to be hard to say goodbye to her and these pups, but I know you'll find them wonderful homes. Sam Dad nodded. That's the paradox of rescue. We bring together such happy families, but we'd rather it wasn't necessary. How'd you hear about Hope's rescue? Wenling grinned. The Trevinos adopted Cooper from you. I got a dog from you, too, Lacey. Lacey had been loving Ava, but now, hearing her name, she went to Wenling and nosed her hand. Ava smiled. I'm sorry, I didn't remember. You were pretty young, Ava, Sam Dad observed. Ava shrugged. I'm 12. I turned 15 in September, Wenling replied. So is Lacey here? Wenling knelt to pet Lacey and shook her head mournfully. Lacey was bitten by a northern rattlesnake and died. Ava put a hand to her mouth. Oh, no. Sam Dad looked startled. Here? A Massaquoi? I thought they were basically extinct. Wenling smiled sadly. It was a fruit thing. They were all silent for a moment. Lacey waded into her pile of pups and collapsed. We'll find a good home for the mother, too, of course, Sam Dad finally said. My hopes that Sam Dad and Ava had come to stay were soon dashed. With the puppy under each arm, they returned to their van, the same one I had ridden in, with stacks of dog cages inside. Lacey pursued them anxiously, her nose in the air. She followed her brood right into a cage in the back of the van. But when I tried to join them, Wenling restrained me with a hand. Stay, Cooper. Stay? I did not understand this at all. I watched helplessly as the rest of the puppies were placed in the van. From where I sat, I could just see Lacey inside her cage. She was staring at me in dismay. I felt like a bad dog, because I couldn't help her. Then Ava and Sam Dad drove away, the scent of Lacey trailing after them. Lacey patted my head. It's okay, Cooper. I went back to the cement stairs and descended them to the underbarn, though the whole area was redolent with Lacey and my puppies. They were gone. I put my nose to their blanket. It was still warm. I breathed in deeply, separating out each individual scent, remembering my puppies climbing on me and nipping on my jowls. I knew people could take away my dog family if they wanted, but why did they have to? I didn't leave the underbarn when I heard Burke and Grandma return. I stayed curled up on my puppy blanket until Burke called me for dinner. Not long after that, I went to the vet and had a long, dreamless nap. When I came home, I was very itchy between my legs, but could do nothing about it because of a heavy, stiff collar that restricted my movements. By the time I got the collar off, the itch had gone away. I felt different now. Not bad, just different. And the stubble of hair between my legs was rough on my tongue. I was sad when Chase, Dad, and Grant lowered heavy metal doors over the steps to the underbarn. Would I ever see Lacey and my pups again? Grant and Burke started saying the word school again, but we never went back to do school. We just returned to Grant's building. There was not much for me to do but nap, except when a bell would sound, and all the people would go crazy, running out into the hall, dashing around and shouting and slamming doors. Then we'd be in a new room, and everyone would be quiet again. There was nothing in any of this activity that a dog could comprehend, but I had fun just the same. I was always at the Burke's side, but would often smell Wenling and Grant and see them in the halls. My boys had many friends, and they were all very nice to me. You can pet him, but please don't give him any treats, Burke often said. Yet despite saying the word treats over and over and over again, no one ever gave me any. I noticed how stiffly Wenling and Grant spoke to each other, if they spoke at all. There was an odd, unsettled feeling passing between them, and I had never encountered them alone with each other. One afternoon, when the sun was warm in the sky, a car full of girls around Burke's age came over, and they sat on the porch and talked and laughed and gave me treats. It was a perfect day. The girls reeked with sweetness and flowers and moss. One of them had a scent on the clothes that I instantly recognized as belonging to the mystery creatures that lived in barns and ran for me in such an unfriendly fashion. Grant and Chase Dad emerged from the direction of the fields, and I ran to greet them, wagging. Their hands were rich with traces of soil. Hi, Grant, several girls called, waving. Hello, Mr. Trevino. Both of them came up, and everyone talked for a little while. Leaves are just starting to turn, Chase Dad finally said, passing into the house. Grant remained behind. And where's Wenling today? Grant asked his brother. Everyone went quiet and looked at Burke. He frowned, and I could feel that he was uncomfortable. I went to nose his hand in a reminder that the best way to cheer up is to toss a dog a chicken treat. We heard you guys broke up, a girl said. Grant cocked his head. Oh? Well, Burke said. So sorry, Burke, another girl said. Burke looked down his leg for a moment. It's not really, we had a fight. It's not like we've broken up. Oh, okay, a girl said. Grinning, Grant went into the house. Shortly after that, the girls departed, which meant all treats stopped. I followed Burke as he wheeled into the kitchen. Thanks for that, Grant, he said flatly. Wasn't really the moment I wanted to talk about Wendling, you know. Grant held up his hands. Sorry, you don't keep me posted on your celebrity love life. You know what I mean. What I know is that you've peaked, brother. Peaked? As in, you're only a sophomore and you're already with the best-looking girl you're ever going to get in your life. After this, it's all downhill for you. You do know you're adopted, right? Not long after that, Burke and I were down at the pond for a duck patrol. Wendling came over on her bicycle, and Burke said, I'm sorry, over and over, and sounded sad. So I brought him a stick. Eventually, Wendling hugged him, and they pressed their lips on each other in a long kiss. I chewed the stick into bits. Grandma sometimes drove us to Wendling's house and left us there, but she always came back later. One such night I sat in the back seat with my nose up, smelling cheese in the air. Though no one was eating and no one gave me any, it seemed to be coming from Grandma's hair. The car stopped and I did assist and steady. See you in a while, Burke called. I did assist on the front steps and Burke knocked on the door. A loud shout, a man's voice, came from within the house, and a moment later an woman's angry yell answered it. I gazed at my boy anxiously. Wendling opened the door. She was crying. My God, Wendling, what's going on? Burke asked her. What do you think's with the cheese smell? Chapter 17. See you. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day. Learn lots.